Hey guys, happy Friday. It is Venus Day, and this is now the segment for Libra to Pisces. Hope you guys are well. As I said, this weekend we have Mother's Day, and we also have a Scorpio full moon. And I did a video. If you guys haven't checked it, please check it out. I titled it in my collection of videos, Scorpio full moon. All right. Anyway, we'll jump into your reading. And this is for Libra to Pisces. So we start with Libra. I did some of those little cards where I put the name of the signs. I misplaced them from the last reading. I looked through my stuff and I can't find them. So I'll just take it that the duende is hidden for me because I went through every deck in my little thing here. Like all my tarot decks and oracle decks are stored in here. So I went through all of them and I couldn't find it. So solo Dios sabe, right? Libra, how are you? Ooh, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. These are general messages. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Libra, my fellow air sign, how are you? Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, what message do we have? Oh, there's a card that's facing up. Let me turn. Libra, what messages do we have for Libra watching today? All right, Libra, we have, all right, Libra, 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 Libra. All right, Libra. The energy we have here, although if you hear me talk about kings and queens or even knights, I don't like to say, oh, there's this person. No, I'm just going to tap into the energy. And if I need to make it as a whole, I'll refer to it as an environment. Okay. But we have here that some of my Libras are feeling this energy of like fire, spark, and creativity. But at the same time, like the environment is unstable with it, right? Perhaps it's too intense. Hence, I do see the Queen of Wands, and I'm describing what I'm feeling as I talk, okay? So the fire is too intense. Either it's the environment, maybe it's someone around you in that environment, and like individual, okay? And then also it could be within yourself, okay? Like what's sparking inside of you, Libra, okay? Page of Pentacles. There's an influence here because it came with some news, okay? Take that as it resonates. You probably it has to revolve around like long-term material gains, your material security. Um, it might revolve around children and family as well. It might, it might affect them as well. So that will be some part on why this fire is either it's in control or out of control, depending on the Libra that is resonating with this. Okay. You're going to be faced with a choice if you haven't already. And the choice is it has to be based on what ignites your passion. Okay. In this case, it's not so much like what ignites like someone else, but like your inner passion, Libra. Okay. If you haven't made the decision yet, because it seems that some Libras are like kind of, which is, I mean, you guys are just because the scales, right? They're like, well, should I? Shouldn't I? Well, this is the opposing. This is, this is positive. This is negative. So some of you are still like this, and then but some of you already made the decision. Just know that with every decision, there's a consequence and an outcome, Libra. So now, with that being said, those that make a very well balanced decision based on what ignites your fire, then we have the Knight of Pentacles that's going to bring that movement, the good news. And it's not gonna happen like immediately because the Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. So it's gonna take its time to get here for you. All right. Let's see here. What is it? What is it? Let me see. Let me take one of these here. Libra. What message do we have for Libra? So you might be faced with decision making, and as the scales, you need to make your, you know, That's funny. Like the first thing I there's this thought in my head, probably because we had Star Wars weekend last weekend. So I have this thing that came to mind. Only sit still in absolutes. Take that as it resonates. If it does to any Libras watching, that's so funny. I just came right now because I said you need to make decisions, right? Libra. We have compromise. So some compromise needs to, take place. Find a creative solution. Okay, to Libras that are still finding like having a difficult time making a decision, how about tapping into that compromise energy? Okay. And then finding a creative solution. I'm looking at the image here and I see pomegranates. All right. Pomegranates to me, I see them as the most highest, most valuable, most delectable and respectful and beautiful offering you can make to anything associated with the underworld or your spirit guides and ancestors. Okay. So that means that compromise, I feel that it's like, and with this image here, it's, it could be probably like the best gift that you could give yourself, the compromise. To find a creative solution as well, you could tap into asking your ancestors or whoever you believe in for some clarity, or if you need to tap into the clarity yourself because you don't, perhaps you don't believe in ancestry, then the clarity comes from this and this right here. Okay, let me see, what song do we have? Let's get a shadow card for you. We have, oh, all right, this song is Welcome to Hell by Scape. Although the band is like Spanish, like a Spanish they're like the new age, like the new age two-tone or third wave ska punk kind of like genre. They do sing it in English. And then every now and then they'll say something in Spanish, but the Spanish lyric is like the time has come. And they say ya llegó la hora. And then it says hermano, and then they'll refer to different cultures, but it's like the time's here. The time has come. It's like welcome to hell. Like, how do you consider hell from a religious standpoint? And when I say religious, because religion, like Christianity sees hell a certain place. Other people see hell, how they perceive outside. Yeah, I point out the window because my window's here, or the hell within. All right. So it's eye for an eye. Just again, it's like the compromise. So it's like what you pay out is you're gonna get. Okay. Karma. We have, this is interesting. Laws and legal systems surround this, and that's all you. That's all you the whenever I get the justice card in the tarot, it is a Libra card. It also revolves around like legal stuff, and it's also like seventh house stuff too, I believe. So make sure that it complies with the laws and there's like a system that's like equal and legal in place. All right. Consequences, may be mindful of consequences of your decision. Okay. Make sure there's no unfairness. This is all under your house, Libra. All this is you. Make sure the rights are fulfilled for both parties. That's the compromise. Humanitarian. So it is like make sure that it is a humanitarian, also like influence surrounding this. Okay, that's take what resonates and leave the rest. Oh, and I mentioned there's a number 4 here. The number 4 for me is family. I did talk about Page of Pentacles revolving around family, children, um for this. So this would also affect whatever you're doing, could also revolve around children. Okay, just take that as it resonates and leave the rest. Now we move to, let's see, move to Scorpio. What message do we have for Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Scorpio, this weekend is all you, man, with that full moon. Scorpios, what message do we have for Scorpios watching? This is a general reading for all signs. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Scorpio, what message? Oh, wait. Okay, whoa. First card that came out for Scorpio. Okay, Scorpios watching. Energy surrounding Scorpios. Some of my Scorpios have decided that there's certain situations that are no longer fulfilling their, emotionally. They invested too much time and energy in it, and you just like, it's no longer fulfilling, so you're turning your back on it. That's some of my Scorpios. Some of my Scorpios might be seeing it, but still are having trouble accepting it. Okay, hence that you're compromising yourself. If you saw my full moon reading, and I referenced to Scorpio, I was talking about the shadow side. There's some Scorpios that that will stick to what's familiar. So some of you might be in that situation. Those that have seen that it's no longer fulfilling are moving forward and just turning their back on that. And when you turn your back, you turn your back. All right. The Tower came out. Something wasn't stable in that situation. Okay. Something wasn't stable. So it had to come down. If you don't build a solid foundation based out of, I'm a list like virtues. If it's not honest, if it's not authentic, if it doesn't involve love with the highest vibration, all those, what you consider like the higher vibration, like energies, then it's going to crash because the lower vibrations were the ones setting up this foundation for you. So the Tower is also clarity because you just saw that it just wasn't, what you thought it was as well. So it brings down ego too, because when we were first, a tower to me is like something that's built really high, the tower on a castle. There's so many things associated with the castle too. The tower is always used for prisoners. The tower could be used for others, so also to like look, to see. So, but at the same time, it's like, but when we're talking from like an internal like standpoint, because the cards are actually referring more for you in your life and quest in life. It's like your pride, your ego was like, and then you were too prideful. Here's the Tower. Take that. That's, that's the thing. And when I see lightning, to me, um, I see Shango coming in and just at the same time just breaking that pride for you. Okay. Four of Wands. Um, Four of Wands, well, it's a card of stability and things feeling peaceful. Some of my Scorpios with that ending are gonna feel a sense of peace. Some Scorpios are not gonna feel that. Okay, they're not gonna feel it because they're lacking that stability. And then I also, with the Four of Wands, I do get a sense of family. So if we're talking about a physical family, if it revolves around like a household with children, maybe divorce, separation, okay? But also it could be family as in like your childhood. All right, we're going deep here. So it could be childhood. Four to me, fourth house, that's family. Maternal side more. I get more feminine energy from that. So perhaps some relationships with the mama sun here for some of my Scorpios, whether you're a sun or a moon. I read that Scorpio moons tend to have a lot of situations where relationships with the mom wasn't well. Okay, all that comes up for here too. But yeah, for some of my Scorpios that are feeling it, you're now stable when that tower broke. Good. Those that are struggling, you need to take your time and make a decision. Now we move to the Two of Swords. So it's like, okay, so what now? There are some that are now going to be faced with a decision for the future, and you're going to make it well if you're, if you see what you're looking for now, because it obviously it wasn't fulfilling. But then there's the Scorpio that is going to be kind of hesitant on making a decision moving forward. Okay. This not making a decision is also making a decision. I'm just putting it out there. So let me get a card for you. Let's use these dark cards for Scorpio. We always associate Scorpios with dark, right? So let me just get these star cards for you, Scorpio. What message do we have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? I throw in Venus, guys, because it is Friday, and I want to see if anything related to her comes out. Let's see here, Scorpio, Clover. Immediately, a clover to me is like a sheer of luck. A clover to me is cardinal too. It's like the like a meridian, like also like the cardinal, Saturn, discipline, focus. Yes, unfortunately, a lot of hurt because you have to be like it has to be blocked for you to actually pay attention. All that's coming to mind when I think about cardinal. Okay. Now, also for crossroads, maybe you're at a crossroads. Some of you are. Maybe you have some of you have four options. And then I see the number two here. That means that maybe some of you are dealing with like another person or two situations, right? So all this came out to me with this card. Take what resonates, leave the rest, Scorpio. Let's pick a card from this year. This is okay. It's a Spanish song. If you're a Scorpio watching, you're Spanish. This one is actually in Spanish, okay? So because it's in Spanish, I will pull another one for you, but I could translate for what I see. Atrévete, te. Atrévete, te. It's like, I dare you, dare you, dare you. And this is by Calle 13. The song's pretty cool. When I DJ parties and I put it on, people start dancing. Okay, but anyway, 2005. If you're watching, I really can't say a child from 2005 because that makes you like a teenager. Unless maybe you're not so much of a teenager. You're already a bit older, but 2005, some of you might be born in 2005. Maybe you have a child that was born in 2005. Maybe something major happened in 2005 if you're a Scorpio watching. We have number 7 that comes out. Oh, immediately it went to my mama here. Yemaya, familia, motherhood. Yemaya is number 7, by the way. That's her number as an Orisha. But in this case, 7 is the Libra house is the house of relationships. Okay, and that means like long-term relationships. So in this one, Scorpio, it's actually pointing out authenticity again. Like, are you living in your truth in whatever situation this is? Is there like facades? All this, the facade to me falls under the tower because if you're building under like empty traits, it's gonna break eventually. Come out with the real you is the message of the song. Inner child. So I did talk about the number 4 when I talked about the maternal and the childhood with Scorpio, Scorpio moons especially. Are you just following like the crowd or a certain group to fit in? There is like issues with the first house. I wrote this here in my tapping into the song. That means like how you see yourself, okay? Outside judgment. Some of you are letting outside judgments rule your life. And the message is be you. Okay. I just said I was going to pick another one because it's a Spanish song, but my Spanish speakers, Atrévete by Calle 13. Check it out if you don't know who they are. All right. Here's another one for Scorpio because it's English. This one's I'm Your Puppet by James Purify, and I know a bunch of people covered it. I mean, I like this version from the oldies, barrio oldies, but I know Alton Ellis covered it. It sounds pretty cool too, but I'm Your Puppet. So are you controlling Scorpio? That controlling is actually your shadow side. Or are you being controlled? That is also a shadow side because you're allowing someone else to control you. Power imbalance. There's some like someone's being too submissive. And then we have that there's like lack of autonomy for some Scorpios. There's manipulation. here. This is I'm getting literally like shadow, a lot of shadow here. Power dynamics. It's like, where are you in this situation, Scorpio? We have 1967, perhaps something important from that year for you, maybe a parental. Okay. We have number 5 as well for the energy here. Um Take what resonates with these songs and the reading and leave the rest, Scorpio. Now we move on to Sagittarius. My Sagittarius folks watching, welcome. What message do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? General messages, guys. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Los Sagis. Right? All right, Sag. The energy surrounding some of my Sagittarius is watching. Take what resonates, see the rest. Gatherings, celebrations, or choices. Okay. And choices meaning like, you could say it could be like a love triangle, whether you're a masculine or feminine, take it as it resonates. That's the energy I'm getting here. Um, there are some Sagittariuses that are being faced with having to look into the future regarding that energy of the 3 of Cups. Okay. So something emotional is surrounding this. Okay. So it's like when you look in the future, you look at the future with, you could say, a more focused mindset of where it's going, or it could be lacking because there's some things that still you're kind of you know so in this case it's like, is it in my reading about the full moon, it's like, is it, do you see the truth for the matter or the truth of the situation? And also, if you find yourself constantly seeking some fulfillment each time, then you're not also living your authentic self. So to me, it's like all these choices tells me that some Sagittariuses are also like still unsure. You're like searching for the next big thing or something that will be fulfilling for you. Hence the cups, right? 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords comes to me when people are stressed. People, so much thinking puts you in almost like an illness position. So either you're sick or you're going to get sick from the stress. But with the rest comes clarity. Okay. If you have been sick and because a situation was too draining for you, or you have overdone yourself, overexerted yourself, Sagittarius, then you're coming out of that period of rest. Hence, the 4 of Swords. So whatever is happening or has happened, has taken a toll on your health. So to me, when health comes up, I would say be mindful with that, okay? Because once it affects you like that, yeah, it's something. And this is what's interesting. I was gonna say, with the health, it's like now you tap into the house of Virgo. Maybe you're a Sagittarius that has Virgo placements, but we have the Hermit coming up. The Hermit has his messages for you. The Hermit could say, hey, you need to take time to really reflect on your situation, right? It's a Virgo card too. You need to really tap into your intuition. Sagittarius has really good intuition, but when they're vibing low, it goes out the window, or maybe you're too stubborn. You say, I don't need to tap into it because I know better. That's also a shadow side that I talked about. But the Hermit here is an encouragement to actually detach and pull away so you could reflect on the situation so you don't find yourself again, if you're, feeling physically, mentally ill right now, Sagittarius. Also, with the Hermit, you'll get some clarity and also that rest to regenerate yourself, right? So whatever the situation is, whether it's a choice, whether it's a triangle, if it's something revolving like partnership, so 3 people. It's 3. I see a group of people, 3 people. If it's romantic, be mindful. If it's partnership, be mindful. If it's a group, be mindful. But it tells me here that whatever it is, that energy of that situation or environment or those people is draining you. All right. So let's see. Let's pick a card for you. Let me pick one of these here. Since you guys rule the 9th house of higher education, let's get some education up in here. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this card deck here is more let me see. It's I have the box right here. It's discover yourself. It's a tool for what you need to remove from your life to create space for happiness. So it's used for mental health, okay? Sagittarius. This is interesting that I like, you know what, let's get this for you because you guys are all about high education. So yeah, this one's more of that route. Oops, there we go. Emotional intelligence. Sag. Why do you think it's important to stay calm? So calmness, you're like, and you're like balanced chi, right? You're like literally like floating in the air like this. Okay, like total guru. It comes like that. There's this brand called Guru, but I'm like, I just picture that, like like that. And the calmness, I mean, with this Four of Swords, there's no calmness. Something's causing you to not like, it's disrupting that calmness. So why do you think it's important to stay calm? That's a question for you to reflect on, Sagittarius. Take it as it resonates. Let me pull a card for you here. Okay. Amy Winehouse, I'm No Good. All right. This is one of her songs. Rest in peace. 2006. If you're watching, maybe you were born in 2006, maybe something major happened in 2006, surrounding this. Number 8. Number 8 to me is the 8th house of death and transformation, and it comes to astrology. So it's also things that are hidden and you're trying to like push them back into the freaking coffin because they're scary to face. So it's like time to face those shadows and those skeletons is what's telling me. It's time to, something needs to die, something needs to end. You need to make some transformations. Okay, that's the energy I'm getting. And again, they say rest in peace, but I'm talking about death. I'm like, unfortunately, she did pass away due to OD, right? I'm No Good is the song title. So it's like there's this feeling that you're no good or something is not good. There's perhaps cheating. And what cheating could be this yourself because you're not being authentic or you're cheating on other people. Hence, I was talking about a group of people or a triangle, right? There is unhealed connections. And this is where I talk about the 8th house because now you have to face certain things that you were probably trying to push away. And if you took an ex back and it's now a same situation resurface because, I mean, now you have like the dead resurfacing, then okay. Situationship. No emotional connections. And then also like something has been discovered. All right, I'll leave that to you, Sagittarius. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Now we move on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, how are you? What message do we have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for this weekend? It's for May 9, 10, 11, and 12. This doesn't necessarily need to happen this weekend. It could be going on or it could potentially happen. It's not written in stone. You have control of your life, all right? Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn, the energy surrounding some of my Capricorns, we're dealing with the Lover's card. So we have a situation of, like, in this case, partnership. Because now we're talking about 2 people. Gemini is the ruling zodiac of the Lover's card. Okay. The energy I get here, some of my Capricorns are maybe reconsidering, as in like looking over the connection. Others are doing well in the connection. Some of those that are doing well, of course, are having, the passionate connection. It could be someone that you consider that is like your soulmate. All that stuff comes to mind when I think about like a balanced lovers card energy, right? It's playful, you could be yourself, you could relax, you could be vulnerable. That's like one of the, if there's some Capricorns feeling that way with their current partner, those that are not feeling that way. And this is where, I did mention some of the shadow sides of Capricorn. It's like you don't want to face certain things. And perhaps you got into things with trying to avoid responsibilities or being vulnerable. Okay. Um, I get a bit also like health, but more on the mental health coming from this. So if you are struggling with, something that's affecting you mentally, I would suggest to seek out some therapy. There now a lot of mental health professionals have actually opened up doing like live or Zoom conferences, so you don't need to go into an actual office. Myself, I am, certified in, spiritual care. I do have background, but I'm not licensed. So myself, if you come to a person like me, I would just assess you, but I know when it comes to me, I will refer you anyway to a licensed professional. Okay. But anyway, back to the reading. King of Swords. This is not an I don't want to rest in like, I don't want to say there's this guy, there's this girl. No, this is just an energy in your environment. And it could be your external or your internal self, right? Um, there is some of you have the clarity of this relationship or this connection. Some of you Capricorns are lacking that clarity and that connection. All right. Now, those that have that clarity, you probably, like I said, it's like you're open to everything, but at the same time, you might be a bit cold. So I would just point out that if everything's going well, maybe you want to loosen up a bit so that connection could have a bit of your warmth. Because Capricorns, when they loosen up and they're warm, I've experienced it and it's really nice. I'm a Gemini with a lot of Virgo. So, but when I have had like Capricorns tap into their vulnerability, it is very nice. Okay. Anyway, rest in peace, Grandpa. So yeah, some of my Capricorns here, um, do see the clarity, are standing their ground. They have their boundaries. They are stable and they're great. And then those of you that are not there yet, what's going on? Let's move forward. Nine of Pentacles. Oh, you guys see things long term, not short term. So if you're struggling because this relationship seems like, something that's perhaps was meant to be short term, maybe you violated the code of like really like looking at things with a clear head. You might, that's probably why you're struggling, Capricorn. But there's some of you who did see the long term in it. And if the long term involves this, you know, person that we're talking about here, like this relationship, then you do see that in the future you're going to have that, that financial stability and the financial freedom, everything that comes with stability. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Again, I'm not going to talk about, a female or a male, like an actual individual. I'm going to talk about the energy. So I sense that a lot of my Capricorns are tapping in a lot into the masculine energy. Okay. And there needs to be a balance with a bit of feminine energy. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, she is still considered like an earth element, and she takes her time. She also works her way. In this case, I would say this is literally like, also it could be a Capricorn card, but it seems like the balance of her feminine side is off. So there needs to be some work done in regards to some of my Capricorns in regards to this relationship. Perhaps it's too, if you're, if the balance of your relationship to my Capricorn struggling right now in partnerships or romantic relationships is more on the masculine side, whether you're an actual masculine or, you know, or a feminine watching, it's going to be aggressive. It's not going to feel warm. It's going to be aggressive. It might be clear and to the point, but it's not warm. Queen of Pentacles, earthy, practical, service. You know, it's like I don't want to give because okay, that would be an unhealed feminine, right? But like the healed feminine energy would be giving in that way. So there is a with the Geminis, it's like the duality. There you go. You need to work with the two. Not like it just like popped into my head right now. Let's see. Let me go ahead and pick one of these cards for you. Let's compliment this card for you, Capricorns. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You know, this is again just a general reading, okay? So, Capricorn, what message do we have for Capricorns? Interesting. Someone else got this man card. I think it was Scorpio. I think it was Scorpio. I don't remember. No, it was Cancer actually. The man card. So this deck, actually, yeah, this deck has a man card and it has a men card. And I didn't read the book on it. To me, I like to look at images and get downloads. I was just talking about the masculine energy. So it seems here that the masculine energy is ruling, like it's overruling more, or it's like the scales are tipped more masculine in within your situation, Capricorn. So whether it's because you might feel that that will make you feel safe, then that means that you're scared to be vulnerable. Okay. If you tip the scales and balance out the energy to have that feminine energy come in your partnership here, in your romantic relationship, then you need to balance both the masculine and the feminine. And that includes being vulnerable, being open. Okay. And also making sure that people don't take advantage of you either. Okay. Let's see, what song do we get for you? Let me go ahead and pull one from here. All right. The song I got for Capricorns is a song from Tupac. Rest in peace, 1996. Maybe if you're watching, you were born in 96. Maybe something happened in 1996 for you. Number 7, House of Partnerships. Long-term too, long-term partnerships. Hence, we talk about the 9 of Pentacles. That's a long-term, investment in your relationship, the security that you have in that relationship. So you might be feeling some kind of controversy. Those that are still struggling, there's something controversial about this connection. Okay. Or you might feel the controversy within yourself again. If you need to be outspoken, but again, make sure that the energies are balanced so the outspokenness could come out balanced and not too cold and then too, what's the other word? Like give it with a form of like, I do this and what am I getting in return? I don't know. That just came to mind the way to describe it. I did write Uranus, the planet here, so it's like a bit of it's unconventional. So perhaps something is unconventional. Perhaps there needs to be some rebellion in place. Okay, something new and innovative. All that just came to mind. There's probably haters surrounding your connection that might be affecting this connection, or perhaps the haters are between yourself to those that are struggling. Okay. We have freedom. How do you define freedom? Do you feel it? Are you feeling free, Capricorn? And then also, is it authentic? Because it's talking about authenticity. All right. So take what resonates and leave the rest, Capricorn. Now we move on to Aquarius. What message do we have for my Aquarius folks watching? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for this weekend of May 9, 10, 11, and 12. Take what resonates, leave the rest, Aquarius. My Aquarius. Right, Aquarius. For Aquariuses, some of my Aquariuses aren't feeling secure about where they're like, you could say you're, again, a lot of people seem to be struggling with like finances and what material security or where you feel safe. In this case, yeah, it's like your material security is question, like you're in question right now. Perhaps, an opportunity presented itself for you, or perhaps you receive some news with an opportunity. Some of you are feeling it more of like on a skeptical, viewing it like on a skeptical way. Others are actually embracing that opportunity. Okay. Let's see what could be the potential matter. Queen of Swords. Again, I will tap into the energy. I'm not going to say there's a woman. It's just this. Okay. Um, it is an air card. So you're an air sign. It's, the Queen of Swords, she is like the feminine form, feminine energy. Now, I'm not saying this woman that you're dating or no, it's not the feminine form of the suit. So, um, I get the download that I'm getting on this is like even some Aquariuses are even struggling not only from the what they're analyzing mentally, but also like even intuition. There's something not clear to some of you about this. Some of you are still seeing like, that opportunity or of that material security. Is it stable? Should I do it? What would happen? The advice would be actually working on seeing the things a bit clear, and you could see it clear with, without the emotion, right? And of course the Queen of Swords is not emotional. She just knows because she knows. It's, the clarity. What could be potentially influencing this? I could see perhaps you're carrying some, what's the word, baggage from the past. If you're carrying baggage to me, a Six of Swords indicates baggage from the past. I know people, would be saying like, oh, it's the Ten of Wands, but to me, the Ten of Wands is like a completion. It's not a complete, but it's like the ending of like that path of the wands. But it indicates that you need to put some of the workload down, like you probably got too much going on. In this case, we're talking about a lot of things that have affected you in your mind and your experiences to get clarity. So if you're living in the past, it's going to affect your future. If you're bringing baggage from the past because you're like, well, I went through all this, blah blah blah, blah. I'm just, this is just me talking, getting the downloads. But you're allowing those, instead of seeing them as a growth, the image in itself for the Six of Swords shows this like woman rowing, okay? The swords are actually standing, being like they're actually in the boat, but not like completely piercing it all the way through. So think about that, like the weight of that. So it's saying that some of you are in the risk of sinking your journey moving forward, and then others of you see the clarity and learn from that experience and move forward. So it's like saying like you need to learn from experience and move forward, not dwell on it, and don't let it sink your ship in life right now. Okay. To those that are clear or have found the clarity, Aquariuses, we have the Ace of Swords with a proper, clear new beginning for you moving forward. If it's something you've been struggling with, and you start seeing things clear, they're gonna start taking their, you could say the energy is gonna start flowing as we come into the month of September of this year. Okay. So I want to point that out, that work on the clarity. Work on seeing things a bit more clear. So perhaps you're also, because of the Six of Swords going on water, I also get a sense like a lot of you are kind of drowning in a bit of, fog and emotion. Because if you see water, anywhere there's like a water table, like there's always fog. So perhaps some of you are like foggy. Those are the downloads I'm getting. Let me see here. What card? Let me get this one. What message do you have for my Aquariuses to complement this reading for them? Yeah, for some of you, this may have been an on and off situation that probably started in, January of this year. Maybe even as far as like mid-December of, 2024, or maybe, January of this year, like I said. And so it's on and off, on and off. Okay. But it's like you're looking for some clarity, like you want to move forward, but something's holding you back from feeling secure. Something's affecting you. And to me, it's like something's foggy. Aquarius, boundaries. So there could be a lack of boundaries surrounding some of my Aquarians. Okay. Your boundaries are yours to defend. I mean, Queen of Swords, she has her freaking sword. Look at that. You have this one here. She has a sword as well. And then you got the Ace of Sword. So it's like a lot of protecting your boundaries is what's recommended. If you need to rebel, you can go ahead and do it. Let's pick a song for you. Hey, Dios mío. Waiting Room by Fugazi, 1989, number 9, Aquarius. Maybe you were born in 89, maybe something happened in 89. Number 9 as well is Seeking the Truth. The suits of the swords is clarity. So seeking the truth, to me, it comes with the number 9. That's the house of Sagittarius. Or waiting room. So sitting on this situation, it's wasting time. There's lack of progression. I mean, you have the Six of Swords. I showed you the woman rowing, rowing, rowing. Okay, you have the control because you have the paddle. But it's like all that weight is holding back some of you. Stagnancy. Are you in like a waterway that's like stagnant? By stagnant could be like it's just you're just going in circles in one little water like uh um what's the word I was gonna say? Body of water. Or are you actually going down a what is it? Free flowing river, creek, or an open ocean? All this is popping up as I think about stagnancy. So there is also a bit of stagnancy. There's no movement, there's stagnancy, right? Existential crisis. Where do you find yourself right now? Aquarius, sit on it. There's the lack of clarity that's probably having you feeling that way. Then we have dead inside. Some of you are feeling like a bit of dead inside, but that's because your boundaries have been violated. Maybe some of you, okay? But those of you who are elevated and like moving forward, good for you. All right, you're standing in your truth. You're being the star. That's your card, enlightenment, enlightenment. Linear. Okay. Linear here is this. I just said, Aquariuses, they're ruled by Uranus. That's by the planet Uranus. It's like outside of conformity, outside of the norm. It's like not, it goes against society's standards. So with linear, to me, what I understand linear is like this. And if you're in a boat just going like this and just keep going, but there's no direction there, right? So how about, you know what? Maybe I should go this way. Maybe I should go. So it's like saying some of you are too linear and stuck in your ways, fixed. So take that as it resonates, Aquarius. Leave the rest. Now we move on to the last sign, which is Pisces. If you're still here watching, thank you. What message do we have for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus today for my Pisces people? Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Pisces. I hope you're doing well. And it's always Pisces, the last one, right? That's like a long way. All right, Pisces. All right, for my Pisces, 4 cups. Pisces. Some of you guys, some of my Pisces watch this. Some of you might be having like the stability. The 4 is stability, a form of stability, when it comes into the life, but it depends on the element, right? In this case, we have cups. So while things are well and stable, nothing is too or everything is here. It seems like emotionally nothing is still fulfilling. It's like I get like an energy of not being grateful for what you have. It's like you're like, I could have more. Um, it's like you're stable, things are well. It's like little, but some of you are not feeling it. Maybe others are feeling it, but so I get more like a lot of you are not feeling it. And it's, an internal thing. Okay. It's like the most exciting thing might be having, but you're that low that it's just like, for you. Okay. What's that word? It's almost like, is it a form of apathy? Cynical? I don't know. Those are the words that came to mind. Two of Pentacles. I get that something that was being worked on by some of my Pisces is like on a standstill or on a hold. Perhaps it started, the flow started, but then it stopped. Okay. Um, the twos to me could also mean decisions or directions because it's like a two. It could also indicate like another person. Like this indicates you and another person. Okay, but yeah, something started that you thought was supposed to be long term, but then now it's like at a halt. Okay, what is it? High Priestess. Something's not sure for you right now. And I mean, if you're in the Four of Cups feeling, you're not tapping into intuition. You're drowning in water. So you're not seeing things. High Priestess is your card, Pisces. That's like the 12th house, the highest house of intuition. But it's also the house of hidden secrets and also hidden enemies. Okay. So with the High Priestess, it's like you are asking too much when you already have the information available for you. It's almost like this. Um, I feel like I am where I need to be, but I don't know. And the high priest is saying, you do know this is where you need to be right now. Like this is where you need to be. And then there's some of you that perhaps something went off, let's say a bell or whistle went off, and intuition is telling you that something is off, but because you're not balanced, you just don't see it. And the high priestess is about to expose in due time because with at the right time, things always get exposed. This full moon that's coming, it's gonna expose things that are hidden. I mean, it's in the house of Scorpio. That's like the hidden stuff, like who. So if it's something you've been kind of suspecting or doubting or thinking about, perhaps this is the time to some of my Pisces that they're gonna get the clarity that they need. For those of you that already found it, ay Dios mío, I hope that you're dealing with it well. Okay. Now we move on to the next card. Whatever is exposed or will be exposed or come out, I mean, it could also be even yourself, self-discovery, things about yourself that maybe you don't like too. Who knows, right? Because it's also like your shadow side. But anyway, Seven of Wands. Perhaps you need to stand up for yourself or stand up for something or for someone or people are going to challenge you or challenge you and how you think or who you are and how you do things, Pisces. Okay. And that's the Seven of Wands. Some of you are going to be able to, actually stand up successfully. Others of you are going to be like, well, I don't want to make this end because, I really like the situation, so whatever it is just, I get more like this. If you've been waiting for an answer, you're gonna get it if you haven't gotten it yet. It doesn't matter if you're a Pisces that is doing well right now or not, or you're struggling at the moment. Okay, everybody's gonna get something exposed. Let me see. Let me get one of these. Let's go more on the intellectual with my Pisces, my fishies. All right, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. What message to reflect on for you? Yeah, I call these. This is my. These are like a tool for mental health to make you look at things, like open up your mind and actually really, really like think about things. Okay. So we have relationships. Okay. Seven of Wands, when I said you're gonna like stand up or have to defend, that also means that you might have to defend boundaries, which brings me to this one. This situation revolves around relationships around you, okay? What boundaries do you need to implement, Pisces, to better protect your time, your energy, and your resources? Pisces, that's a question for you to answer. Let's take out a card for you. All right. We have Killing Me Softly. There's a few artists that actually cover the song, but the original, gosh, I forgot. I didn't write her name on here. I actually wrote Roberta Flack. She covered it too, but prior to her, there was someone else. I forgot it, and I apologize what her name is. But then after that, in the 90s, the Fugees covered it. Okay, but anyway, Killing Me Softly. It's literally, it's not about it's not a love song. It's not. This song, I actually mentioned it in one of my classes when it comes to inspiration, and what touches your spirit. Okay, so "Killing Me Softly," 1973, 1996. If those years resonate, maybe you were born in any of those years. We have number 2 and number 7. So we have a partnership because we have the 2 right here. 2 of Pentacles. 7, relationships. Okay. There is connections around you that are affecting you. Um, I wrote poetry and song, so perhaps because poetry and music does like really like it falls under the like art, so it's something that I feel that will like tap into your heart, Pisces. Okay, in this case, there's beauty in life and actual spiritual connections, not fake ones. Okay. What's triggering you, Pisces? I wrote here the book of Genesis. Whether you're religious or not, I consider it more like on the, like I would say it's a theology. Okay, like this is a theology way of me explaining it, not really going into like the whole Bible from a really or being religious. It's origin, it's a beginning, it's formation, but it's also a story. So take those as it resonates, Pisces. Then we have your life experience. The 12th house is considered the more like the last, so that means that you're an old soul. So if you tap into the previous life, you know, perhaps that could help out with your current situation. So yeah, so the story behind this, when this song was written, the artist, she mentioned she was in a very hard point in her life, and someone, I believe, invited her to a concert to see this musician. And the thing is, well, when she started paying attention to the musician, she got lost in the energy of this musician as he strummed his guitar. And if you listen to the song Killing Me Softly, you'll listen. She's actually describing how this individual, the presence of this individual, affected her. To me, that's a soul connection. Like it's a spiritual connection there. So that filled her spirit. So perhaps something like that for you, Pisces. Well, anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining me this weekend with your readings. They are general readings. If you want a personalized reading, please book with me. You can send me a DM here on TikTok under Chakralosa, or you can send me an email to chakralosa@gmail.com. No symbols, no numbers, and we could do a reading for you. Anyway, thank you again, and you have a good weekend.